This is High Noon and welcome. Are you prepared to draw? I hope so. And I don't mean any of that liver lizzy gun slinging stuff. And I don't mean any of that artist stuff. I'm here to do that. You all will just draw together, become family, friends, help each other, support each other, all that stuff. This is a place to have a good old time, friends and frolic, and all that stuff. Okay? This is it.
Hey, how is everyone? I hope you are all doing fine. There we go. Yes, there is. It just went black. Well, hello. I just need to get the chat up here. In a second, people. Pop out. Well, no, pop out. No. Open browser. Let's bring up Twitch. Twitch, baby, Twitch! Dashboard. My channel. Just bring up the chats from other. I got the Restream one, but unfortunately, Restream does not show when somebody gives you something or something on DLive or Twitch. Okay, there we go. Let's shoot. And we are basically ready. So today, the Bible stories are going to come from the book of Judges. We're going to start at chapter 3, verse 7 for this. And we are doing, starting with a man named Othniel. Now, some of these, I will probably end up getting through a few of these judges because, well, some of them are shorter than others. Like we know, Samson goes quite a bit, but this Othniel, he goes like 4 verses, 7 through 11. So it's 7-11. Othniel 3, 7-11. Anyways, the Israelites did evil in the eyes of the Lord. So that's a lot of probably different things. Drug man with a knife, about to take it to another person and a set of eyes here. Doing evil in eyes up. And they serve they forgot about the Lord, and they served Baal. So they were worshiping Baal. Or maybe it's, Baals. So, not a good thing. So the Lord's anger burned against them. Now, not literally did he burn them. Obviously. Well, hopefully, obviously. But he sent them. He sold them. Or gave them, however you want to say it. It does say sold. King James, NIV version here. Sold them into the hands of the Cushan and Rishtad king. Yeah, so like I said, he gave them into their hands, sold them into their hands. And this was King Hiram. And then there's another name which I can't pronounce. N-A-H-A-R-A-I-M. And they were with him for 8 years. One, 2, 3, 4. So basically, the course of 2 U.S. presidents, or 2 terms of a president. There we go. So 8 years. Wow. 8 years seems like a long, short time, but it's also can be a real long time. But then finally, the Israelites cried out, "Save us!" And God raised up a deliverer. This deliverer was a judge for Israel. I don't know why I'm making him super beef here, but I am. Hey, Connor. On Thursdays at noon, I try and do a biblical story, draw it out the best as I can, quick. Right now we're going from Judges chapter 3, verse 7. We're doing Othniel, and then we'll go on to some more. We're just going to go over a few of the judges straight from chapter 3, verse 7 on to wherever we get to today. And so what we've had so far for up now is Israel has did eyes in the Israel had did evil in the eyes of the Lord. So I drew a couple eyes with you know somebody using a knife to kill somebody or whatever. But it was probably more because they were worshiping Baal and the Asherahs, and God's anger burned against them. So he gave them into the hands of King Aram, of the Cushans and Rishathaim. It's hard to pronounce, these biblical names. And they were subject to him for 8 years, and then they cried out. And now, we're doing, God raised up a champion, a deliverer. I don't know why he looks the way he does, but so buff and whatever-ish. But obviously this is Othniel, son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother. Now I would presume by saying Caleb's younger brother, that would be from Joshua and Caleb, from the two spies that went into the land. Now that's my best guess. It could be a completely different Caleb altogether. So the Spirit of the Lord came upon him. I'm not sure how I represent that. Maybe we'll get a dove coming down. So like what happened with Christ. So the Spirit of the Lord came on him, and he became the judge over Israel. Give him a gavel in his hand. Looks like a little hammer. Yeah, this is something I started doing a couple months ago. I did some of David. Last week I did creation. Well, not last week I did creation, but last week I did some of Abraham. I've done a few different ones. So God made him a judge over Israel, and he went to war. And who did he go to war with against? The Lord. He went to war against King Aram. And God gave the king over to him, and he defeated him. Give him a fancy helmet. Shoulder pads. Some gauntlet. Some knee type pads. And of course we've got the boots. We'll put an O on the chest for Othniel. Although technically it would have been an O for them. I'm not sure what the Hebrew equivalent of O is. But anyways, after defeating the king Aram, he is no more. He is gone. They had peace for 40 years. Well, there's another 40. The Bible, you seem to see a lot of 40s. And it was right around this time that Othniel, son of Kenza, died. So now we are on to Ehud. Has anybody ever heard of Ehud before? I actually have heard of Ehud before. When I was helping out the kids ministry at church, they actually did a lesson on Ehud. And feel free to interject or ask questions or anything out there. So again, of course, the Israelites are doing evil. They're doing evil in the sight of the Lord. They forget that the Lord's eyes are everywhere and that He can see. He knows when you've been naughty. He knows when you're away. You better be good for goodness sake. Well, maybe not for goodness sake. Better be good for your own sake. Anyways. But because of this, the Lord gave them to King Elon. Eglon. And he was king of the Moabites. Hey, who do we know who was a Moabite? Wasn't that Naomi? So we got King Eglon here. And he's ruling over the Israelites for 18 years. So, 18 years go by and finally the Israelites get smart again and they finally cry out for God to help. I've been forgetting to put my beard and mustaches on. My Israelites. Oh, even my So they're like, help! Somebody help! We all need a little help from our friends sometimes. And God can be your friend. So again, yep. It's time. With this, he gives them a new deliverer. But there was something a little special about this deliverer. Most people, for whatever reason, seem to be right-handed now. But Ehud was not right-handed. He was left-handed. So, well, and you might think that's not a big factor, left right-handed. But like I said, most people expect people to be right-handed, using their sword from the right hand and all that. Now, he went with him and a bunch of buddies to pay tribute to Eglon, the king of Moab. But Eglon, the king of Moab, he was very, very fat. Well, it doesn't say very. It does actually say he was a very fat man. Yeah. He really enjoyed his kingdom and all that it gave him. So he's there on his throne. They come in, but nobody knows that Ehud, he's strapped a 1-inch sword, or not 1 inch, underneath his, whatchamacallit, his cloak or whatever. He's strapped a 1 cubit sword that's about 1 cubit to his right leg. Somewhere where nobody would expect it. But he doesn't make his move with everybody there. Ehud's a pretty smart guy. So, him and his buddies do the whole tribute thing. Give them the money or whatever it is that they give for tribute. And then they all take off. But then they get just to these stone statues or something like that, I think it says here. Stone images near Gilgal. So yeah, they got to these stone images near Gilgal. And Ehud says, "Hey, gotta go back. I forgot to tell the king something." Or something to that. Make some excuse to his buddies to go back, or I'm not sure. So he's at he gets into the throne area with the king, and he tells the king, "Hey, I've got a secret message for you." And the king's, "Oh yeah, what is it?" "Well, king, it's like secret, so I can't tell you what the guards here." He's like, "Okay, guards, go away." So I guess King Egon comes over just a bit, stretches out just a bit from his throne here. You can actually see the back of the throne now. And Ehud reaches across with his left arm to his right thigh, pulls out his sword or dagger, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure what you'd call it. It's like about a cubit long, so I'm not sure whether that's with the handle or not. So, as some might know, a cubit is supposed to be from your elbow to either here or the whole length. So that's probably almost like a dagger, or we might consider it a dagger. And he plunges the sword into Elam, or Eglon. And things start to spurt out. He has been gutted, but the sword actually goes all the way in. There's just like a mark or something there. Oh, but the king is dead. Without making a sound, no guards around. Guts on the floor. So Ehud, he comes out and he locks the door. I'm not sure how he locks the door. It says it locks it. I guess he locked it so it would seem like it was locked from the inside. And when the servants came and found the doors locked, they're like, huh. I guess he's just relieving himself. Now you can take what you mean by relieving himself. But eventually they're like, okay, this is just getting ridiculous. and they unlock the doors. And they find the king on the floor, dead. Blah. But by that time, Ehud had escaped. Obviously, he got out. He got out of the palace, and he went past the stone. He escaped Syria, and there Ehud blew the trumpet. He blew the trumpet in Zion. He sounded the alarm on Holy Mountain. Okay, maybe it wasn't on God's Holy Mountain, but he did sound an alarm. He got people to come out. And he said, he says, "Follow me. The Lord has given Moab, your enemy, into your hands." And he got there, and they struck down 10,000 Moabites, all vicious and strong. Not one escaped. And Moab was subject to Israel, and the land had peace for 80 years. Oh yeah. Okay, so up next is Shammah. Shamgar. After Ehud came Shamgar, son of Anath, who struck down 600 Philistines with an ox guard. Okay, and for you that don't know what an ox guard is, I have went and found a picture of this. Oh, that's not the ox guard. That's the ox guard. Ox guard. So they're a bit of a stick. They're used to poke oxes or whatever to get them moving for while plowing or whatever. Ox goads. So he killed 600 Philistines with one of these Shamgar. So pretty good. And actually, ox goads are actually where we get the word goat, goading. You know, to goat somebody into doing something. You know. So let's. And that's really all there is about Oxguard. Or Shamgar. Really short. So Shamgar, he too saved Israel. So yeah, Shamgar and his ox goad. Mighty warrior Shamgar and his ox goad. You don't want to face him in battle. He's like, you going down. So up next, I'm not sure how long hers is. I've read it before, but it's been a long time. But yeah, now we have Deborah. So you guys are seeing. Oh, good. I guess we need. I didn't even show my Shamgar. Forgot to switch back. So there's my Shamgar with his ox god. He's like, you going down, boy. So up next we have Deborah. And you know, Ehud's dead, and you know the Israelites have to go back to their normal thing, doing evil in the eyes of the Lord. Jeez, what a pattern. The judge dies, Israel goes back to, you know. This is a bad pattern with these guys. And is what's worse is, okay, you know, so he sold them into the hands of Jabin, king of Canaan, who reigned in Hazor Sisera, and the commander of his army was based in Hashon Hagawim, and because he had 900 chariots fitted with iron and had cruelly oppressed the Israelites for 20 years, they cried to the Lord for help. And see, there's something too. Each time it's getting longer and longer. First it was only 8 years, then 8 years. Or 8 years, then 18, now 20. You know, these Israelites don't seem to learn their lesson. Not that we necessarily do either. Now Deborah, she was a prophet. The wife of Lapidothea was leading Israel at the time. Okay. Lapidothea, the wife of Lapidothea was... Okay, so I guess that Deborah was leading at the time as a judge. She held her court under the palm of Deborah between Ramah and Bethel in the hill county of Ephraim. And the Israelites went up to have their disputes decided. So yeah, she's there. She's behind the table, and we got people. Oh, she sent for Barak, son of Anabal, from Keshta and Naphtali, and said to him, "The Lord God of Israel commands you, go take with you 10,000 men of Nepal and Natal and Zebulun, and lead them up to Mount Tabor. I will lead Sisera, the commander of Jabin's army, with his chariots and his troops to the Kishon River, and give them into your hands." Okay, so I understand the words, but I don't really know what they mean. So she's like, it's like, I don't know why she looks so mean here. You should have read this story beforehand. I wasn't sure whether I'd get this far. That's my problem. I don't know how far I'm going to get in these stories half the time. Depends on how active the chat is. And obviously today the chat has not been all that active. And Barack basically said to her, I don't know what I want to do here. I don't know what to draw exactly, so no inspiration is hitting me. But Barack says, if you go with me, I'll go. If you don't go with me, I won't. And Deborah said, certainly I will go with you. But because of the course you are taking, the honor will not be yours. The Lord will deliver Sisera into the hands of a woman. So Deborah went with Barak to Keseda. There Barak summoned Zebulun, I should say, and Nephil. Too much dead air. I don't know what I'm doing. I might end early today. Yeah, I think I'm going to end a bit early. Well, a lot early, I guess, since it's an hour. Okay, so thanks everybody for stopping by. We'll catch you all later. Bye for now. God bless. Love you all. Have a great and wonderful day.